And what is it about Ronald Reagan that conservatives today should emulate? That is, if you want to get elected. The first thing is speak conservatively 100% of the time. Ronald Reagan, in that first speech in 1964 to his farewell address in 1989, was 100% conservative. And this is why Ronald Reagan, even today, is an icon of the Republican Party. Because everybody from just right of center to the most zealous of the Tea Party activists can read Reagan's speeches. They can watch Reagan's speeches on YouTube. And it is almost chapter and verse the conservative message that conservatives embraced ever since. So if you like, I'll call it rhetorical conservatism, Reagan is your guy. You cannot hear him, you cannot read him, make any kind of slip from that 100% consistent conservative message. So that's the thing you want to do in your speeches. But there's something else you need to do. You need to, well, this is why I told you a little story about Reagan and the bagel. You need to learn how to make people laugh, learn how to make people smile. And I realize this sounds minor, it sounds prosaic, but one of the secrets of Reagan's success was, well, it was something he learned during those wilderness years on the rubber chicken circuit. He would speak before audiences he didn't know, audiences that might, as far as he knew, they could have been skeptical, they could have been hostile, but he would always warm them up with a story, a joke. And in fact, if you read Reagan's speeches while he's in the White House, nearly every one begins with a joke. Now, what's the purpose? The purpose is to get people to laugh. Because Reagan learned when he was speaking in all those places in the Midwest and everywhere else, that if you can get people to laugh with you, you're halfway to getting them to agree with you. But there's a larger message here, and that is that Reagan, I don't know if Reagan thought this through. He was not a particularly reflective guy. It may have simply been instinctual with him. It may have reflected his career in Hollywood, where he was a celebrity, where he wanted people to like him. Some of you are, some of you know, conservatives. And I don't mean to stereotype conservatives, but I will say, and you can decide for yourself whether what I say is accurate. But I would say that most conservatives tend to be pessimists. I would say a lot of them come across as grouchy, even as angry, righteously indignant. Now, I think you'll have to agree with me at least regarding the pessimism, because the definition of a conservative is a person who is distrustful of change. And if you're distrustful of change, you think that change is usually for the worse. But I would just say in American politics, in American conservatism, there is this stern, often angry, emotional undercurrent. And I'll give you the example that was foremost in American thinking at the time Reagan came on the scene. Barry Goldwater. Barry Goldwater's philosophy was no different than Ronald Reagan's philosophy. Maybe I should put it the other way around. Reagan's philosophy was no different than Goldwater's philosophy. But their visage, their appearance to the American people could not have been more different. Barry Goldwater was stern. Barry Goldwater lectured. Barry Goldwater was scary to a lot of people. And the Johnson campaign went to town on that. Reagan, by contrast, Reagan's this friendly guy. Reagan's this likable guy. Reagan tells jokes. Reagan smiles. Reagan is conservatism with a friendly face. Reagan, in fact, Reagan was that rare, I'm going to say almost unique in American experience, example of an optimistic conservative.